What's up, guys? How are we all? Simon back here again for a bit of football chat. Predictions for this weekend's Premiership games. So I started this a little bit late because I've just been finishing doing this and that. So, even though the half-12 kickoff has already started about 10 minutes ago, I'm just going to give my prediction anyway. I haven't seen the score yet. But anyway, so here's the weekend's football. So some nice, tasty games coming. So obviously the half-12 kickoff is Arsenal v Newcastle. Now my prediction with this, obviously for me, clear win for Arsenal. I think Newcastle are, well, to be fair, they're sort of alright at home, aren't they? They're not too bad at home, but they tend to falter towards the end of games. So I'm going to go for an Arsenal win. Scoreline, I'll probably go for will Newcastle score? Oh, I don't think so. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Arsenal. I think 2-0. I think they'll do the job nicely and keep a clean sheet. So going into the 3 o'clock game, so there's only 3 games today, 3 o'clock games. So we'll get straight into it. So the first game is Crystal Palace and Villa. Hard to call this one because of two I don't know, inconsistent teams. I know obviously Aston Villa with Steven Gerrard coming in. I think it's going to be a tight game. I mean, Palace are very good at home, and obviously the support is always massive in Crystal Palace, and obviously Patrick Vieira doing a pretty decent job there. Consistent, they're not too bad. I mean, they're going to be probably mid-table to low mid-table. I don't think they're going to do any better than that. But anyway, so I'm not here to talk about where they're going to finish. I'm just should be talking about what they should be getting in the game. So what would I go for? I think Crystal Palace will sneak it. I think it would just be a win, I think, for Palace. I'm going to go 2-1 Crystal Palace. Just for literally the sheer sake they're at home, really. And I think that's where I'll go with that. So in the next 3 o'clock game, well, people probably say this is going to be really one-sided, but it's not, because it is. It usually isn't, anyway, from the games I've saw in the past. So it's Liverpool v Southampton in the other 3 o'clock game. Liverpool, yeah, they will win. I'm sure they will win. Famous last words, Simon. So I think they will. I'll say that's for scoreline. I think it's. I don't know. I don't know if Southampton will get a goal or not. You just never know. I'm gonna go for a 3-1 Liverpool. I think they'll get the job done nice and comfortably. I think Southampton might get a goal. They tend to do well against some of the bigger sides, Southampton, away for some reason, which is weird. Don't quote me on that, but I'm just saying. But anyway, so I'm gonna sneak in a 3-1 Liverpool win. I think they get the job done, and obviously one of the title contenders for the Premier League, and rightly so. Will they do it? Different story for another day. So in the final 3 o'clock game of today, it is Norwich v Wolves. Norwich seem to be on a wave at the moment, playing some half decent football. Obviously, new manager in. Dean Smith, I think it is. Somebody will probably quote me. I should know, but I should know, being living in Norfolk, and I'm not a Norwich supporter. Just curious, just thought I'd tell you. So. Bit of a tricky one, really, because Wolves are one of them sides you don't know what you're going to get, because Wolves can beat a team they disrespect. They can beat a team like Manchester City and then go and lose to no disrespect, to like how Norwich were, say, a year or two ago, whatever. You know, it's a bit of a weird game. What will I go for? I'm going to go for a draw. I think Wolves will pick up a point at Carrow Road. I'm going to go for 1-1. I think I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think that's where I'll stand on that. Norwich, it wouldn't surprise me if Norwich do win, because it's like I say, Wolves are one of them teams. They can go and beat leaguers and then go lose to the bottom team. That's how Wolves are, a bit like my beloved Leicester. Anyway, so going into the half 5 kickoff, half 5 kickoff later on today, and that is between Brighton and Leeds. So this could be a very good game. as always. Brighton sort of started off very, very well, and still sort of continues sort of half decently well. Leeds, I love watching Leeds because Leeds are sort of one of them sort of teams. They're sort of all out attack pretty much all the time. You know, they're sort of like, I'm not sort of comparing them. I'm not trying to sort of compare them to Arsenal in a way that's like, it's the old Arsenal was like, we'll concede 2 but we'll score 3 sort of thing. You know, they sort of seem to be like that. Leeds, they're no fear, so they can sort of like, they can go and win 2-3-1 or something like one week, and they'll go and get like battered like 4-5-1 or something like the next week. You know, that's how Leeds play, and it's a very tough game to call because, like I say, Brighton are sort of playing decent football. I think I might just pip it to Brighton, literally just. I'm going to put in a 2-1 win. I think Brighton would probably just a little bit, but then again, it wouldn't surprise me if Leeds do win. Do you know what? I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Boring as I am, I'm going for a 1-1 draw. So that is Saturday's game. So going into the Sunday's games, so we've got quite a lot to contend with. We've got 5 games on Sunday, and we've got 4 2 o'clock kickoffs. So starting alphabetically, we've got Brentford v Everton. Brentford sort of seem to be sort of struggling recently. They started off so well, sort of the first couple of games of the season, troubled a lot of teams, and sort of seemed to sort of going on the downside. This is just my point of view, by the way. All these things I'm talking about, it's just my point of view. But Everton, the so-called sort of team that was supposed to be breaking into the top 6, the top 4. It doesn't look like, it looks like another sort of, even though we're not that many games in the season, like another failed season ready for Everton. I think they'll be sort of within top 8. I don't think they'll do too much worse than that. Sort of, you don't know what you're going to get with Everton. They're one of them sides, a bit like Wolves. You just don't know what you're going to get. What I think, it wouldn't surprise me if it would be, I don't know. It's an hard one to call, this one, because of just literally the form they're sort of both in. They're both not in the greatest of form. As I think they'll come. I don't know. I think the game, I'm gonna go for an away win. I'm gonna go for an Everton. I think Everton might just sneak. I think they might just have probably a little bit too much for them. So I'm gonna go for a 1-0 win away. So there we go. So silly as that sounds, but that's what I'm going for. So the next game, alphabetically, the 2 o'clock, is Burnley v Tottenham Hotspur. Well, where do we start on this one? So after sort of like a bad sort of midweek game with Spurs playing in the Conference Europa, whatever you want to call it, Europa Conference, I don't know what it's called. So in other words, sort of like the 3rd tier of European football sort of thing. And they sort of lost to some sort of Slovenian side who have literally part-time that's probably playing for them. So it just goes to show how good Tottenham are. Sorry, Tottenham fans. Little dig. So but I'd say Burnley, sort of always a tricky side to beat at home. Very hard to beat. Very defensive, obviously. Sean Dyche just sort of, you know, always got them in good shape, and you never know with this game, because Burnley, another one of them sides that's sort of a bit of a funny, you know, can win and sort of lose. Win sort of big against the big side and then lose against a sort of like the team that they shouldn't lose to. As I think the scoreline will be, I think Tottenham will probably have a little bit too much for them. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win. As you know, as much like I say, I'll put my personal feelings aside. It's not, you know, I'm not a fan of Tottenham, as people probably know. So I'm going to go for a Tottenham 2-1 away win. I think they might just have a little bit too much. And obviously Conte, as they say, Conte at the wheel. Funny, isn't it? So in the next game, alphabetically, in the 2 o'clock kickoff, is my beloved Leicester City v Watford. Watford coming off a brilliant win against Manchester United, obviously smashing them 4-1, was it? I think it was. And Leicester coming away with a nice sort of win midweek, even though the team they faced sort of lost their last like 9 games or something in Leggett Warsaw. But at the end of the day, you can only beat what's in front of you. and they got a 3-1 win midweek. So, but like I say, they're not sort of doing so well in the Premier League. Leicester, I mean, there's a lot of, obviously, with the rumours with everything going on with Brendan Rodgers and all that other stuff, which, you know, that's another subject for another day. And sort of the other players sort of like, sort of not, well, I don't want to say they're not happy, I just think there's players there that sort of, I don't know, it's hard to, I'm not going to get into it actually, so I'll leave it at that. So what do I think what the score will be? I mean, if you said to me at the start of the season, I would have said a comfortable win for Leicester. I would have said a comfortable, probably 3-1 win, something like 3-4 win, 3-4-1 win. I'm not too sure because of the defensive frailties at the moment, because our defence is very bad. So what I'm going to go into, I'm gonna sneak just a Leicester win, even though Watford played really, really well. I'm going to put in a 2-1 win for Leicester. Hopefully, we do the job. Anyway, so let's get into the next 2 o'clock game, which is Manchester City v West Ham. Probably the tastiest, well, one of the tastiest games of the day. For some reason, Sky Sports is showing Brentford v Everton, no disrespects, instead of Man City West Ham, which is weird because two teams flying high at the moment. Manchester City, what can you say about them? What can you say? You know, a lot's been said about them, so you don't really sort of need to say too much. West Ham flying high as well, playing really well. David Moyes has really, since he's sort of come back, he really, sort of, well, whatever it was, a year or two ago, he's really got them into an absolute brilliant shape. Playing really good football. They've got a great 11. Only thing I fear of is the squad, obviously, but they're absolutely brilliant in Europa as well. Flying high in that as well, so brilliant team to watch. Defensively, yes, they're sort of a little bit probably shaky. They do concede goals, but going forward, I mean, my God, they do look a threat. But then again, like I say, defensively, they're pretty awesome as well. Sorry, just looking outside, and it's now starting to rain just as I'm about to go out. So the scoreline, what will I go for? I'm going to probably still go for a Man City win. I think it'll be tight. It'll be either one of them games where it'll be tight or it'll be a load of goals. I'm going to go for the tight side of things. So I think probably a 2-1 win for Manchester City. So going into probably the game, well, one of the games that people are sort of looking at over the weekend, that is Chelsea v Manchester United, which is at 4:30 on Sunday. Big game for Manchester United, obviously. Like I say, when, you know, the fixtures weren't sort of, the last 5-6 fixtures weren't that kind to Manchester United, but, well, you know what I think, people. So I'm not going to get into that. Chelsea, brilliant win midweek, tore Juventus apart. Yes, they actually tore Juventus apart. They could have had so many goals, it was ridiculous. Probably got away with the first goal, but then apparently the rules state now it was a goal no matter what. Apparently the rules state, but I'm not going to get into the rules and stuff. I ain't got a clue, folks. So there we go. So Chelsea, Manchester United. Yeah, like I say, Chelsea flying high. Massively, like I say, magnificent 4-1 win against Juventus. Manchester United obviously struggling, you know, about to get a result. They've got some unbelievable players in their squad, but they just can't seem to be gelling as a team. Obviously now with Solskjaer being sacked, and obviously they're sort of getting a sort of a new manager in soon. I think just for the rest of the season, then they'll try and get somebody else in. Obviously the rumours, obviously with Rodgers, Ten Hag, and sort of others as well that sort of Zidane, Pochettino, but them last two I mentioned have pretty much ruled themselves out because they've pretty much come out and said. So it's sort of interesting to see what's going to happen. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to end well for Manchester United in this, because I think Chelsea will absolutely obliterate them because of literally the sheer power they've got in their squad. Chelsea, their squad of like 15, 16, they're just as strong. They're all really, really good, and obviously, and obviously with Lukaku and Werner coming back, which is even more frightening to think they've been playing unbelievable football. Without them, it's even more crazy. So I'm going to go for a Chelsea win. Man United will score. I'm pretty much sure they will score. I just think Chelsea will have a little bit too much for them. what the scoreline will be. It could be one of them ones. It could be nip and tuck, but I think Man United, you know, I just think Chelsea will get them, and I think they will get them. So for the score, I'm going to go for a Chelsea win. For the score, like I said, I'm going to go probably. Like I said, Man United will score, so I'm going to go for a 3-1 Chelsea. I think they will win, sort of quite comfortably in the end. It could be any score really, but then again, wouldn't surprise me if Manchester United get something out of it. You just don't know with Manchester United when they've got one of the best players in history, as in Ronaldo, in their team. So that is it, folks, for my predictions this weekend. So sorry for it being a little bit later than usual. Knowing my luck now, Arsenal's probably scored anyway. Knowing my luck, like I say, because it's now what 10-1. So and the game kicked off at 12:30. So I'm going to put this out sort of literally straight away, and also looking forward to sort of hear your sort of predictions for the rest of today's games and tomorrow's games, obviously, as always. And also go check me out on my channel on YouTube. Great appreciate it if you could subscribe, smash the like button also as well, and give me your thoughts, like I said, in the comments. The name of the channel is Fatboy Si, literally in one word. So that is that. So I will hopefully catch and hear from you all very, very soon. And as always, enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. Guys and girls, and I shall catch you soon for some more predictions in the future, hopefully, and I shall catch you then. So take care and stay safe, and from what I can see from the weather outside, keep warm. And I shall speak to you soon. Take care all, and bye bye.